You know what I really like? The internet. I'm announcing something today, by the way. With so many of us stuck at home right now, the internet has turned into just such a fun and creative place. Inspiring and really amazing to see how many people have started creating videos, how many people have jumped onto TikTok, just how many people are creating. By the way, huge thank you to all the frontline workers who are out there, who have to be out there and can't be at home like the rest of us. Huge thanks. It's interesting to see the impact that limitations can have on creativity. Like the other day, I took this GoPro 360 camera right here, just stuck it right on this, put it in the middle of the room and just... borderline, if not completely pointless, I know, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. If imposing limits creates a breeding ground for creativity, this opens up an entirely new challenge, because as I said, you can reframe this as many times and in as many ways as you want. And it is officially time for breakfast, so welcome to a new section I call Cooking with Norm. Well, good morning everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Cooking with Norm. I don't own a tablecloth, so we're going to be using a moving blanket today, but that's okay. They're basically the same thing. And today's dish is one that goes by many names. Now, I was raised in a tiny little country called Canada, and my family called this dish froggy in the hole. In order to make this dish, you are going to need a frying pan, some form of heating element, 1 egg, and some bread. Step 1 of the process is pretty simple. You need to gather your ingredients. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know that I keep almost everything that I need in these pouches right here. I also think that I've got some bread. Yep. Got some bread right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay these out right like this. Now, step 1, you wanna take a mug just like this one here and pump a little bit of a hole into your bread. Next, you are going to want to preheat your frying pan. Usually you want to butter the bread, but as I've gained a little weight lately, we are going to skip buttering the bread, and we're just gonna add the butter right to the pan. Next, we want to place our bread on the pan and give it a little time to brown. If you have a toaster, you can also do this section with a toaster. I do not. Once that smell comes out, you know that it's just about time to flip the bread, so you're gonna flip it on over to the other side. Now at this point, you want to bring the temperature of the frying pan down a bit, and you want to crack your egg open right into the middle, just like that. I personally like to cover up the pan at this point. I actually use garlic butter for this, so my entire office smells like garlic right now. It's nice. So we are gonna slide this over, take that off, and there we go. A beautifully done froggy in the hole. Next, you wanna grab your spatula and your plate, scoop that right onto there, just like that. At this point, you can use your piece of bread to break into the yolk for dipping, and you've got yourself a nice breakfast. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Cooking with Norm. I am clearly having way too much fun being home, like way too much. Now, I did promise you guys that I was going to share something with you today, but looking at all of this, I just realized that it has been some time since I trimmed up all of this, and so we're gonna rectify that first. I also love how basically the entire world is just learning to cut their own hair right now. Welcome to the team. That is much better. But it wouldn't really be a day at home with me if we didn't play at least a little shamisen. I often get a lot of questions about whether or not my neighbors are bothered by me playing the shamisen. No, For the most part, this place is fairly soundproof, and I usually only practice during the daytime anyway. Actually, I've been thinking about doing an entire shamisen Q&A, so if you have questions, let me know. Timing. We got something. I didn't even order these. Hopefully whatever it is didn't just get cut. Explorer Plus. Looks like this is a package from Moment, the Gravel Explorer Plus DOP kit. It's like a nifty little travel bag. It's got all these extra pockets and whatnot in it. Oh, this is really... So, okay, let me show you. So each one of these pouches right here is pre-packed basically for travel. That one's empty right now. I actually have a ton of these. Let me show you. Like this entire drawer right here is all unopened travel kits from different flights and whatnot. I've also got an entire box of these somewhere. But this right here, this is the box I'm looking forward to. Oh, yep. I recently was fortunate enough to partner up with a company called Black Magic. These guys right here, and they have sent me out this thing right here called the A10 Mini, which is for streaming because I've been trying to get back into doing more live streams. Actually, I've been sneaking in a couple live streams at like midnight once a week over on, you know, the other platform. Since partnering with them, I've actually been using their Blackmagic 6K right here as my studio camera. This is an amazing cinema camera. I love it. When the world turned itself upside down, literally every single shamisen job that I had for the entire years, puff of smoke, just gone. Every performance in Canada, Japan, the US, everywhere. So maybe we'd be able to do something along those lines in a live stream. At the very least, I think it's a great platform for us to do Q&A sessions. So if you have questions, whether they be shamisen related or other, drop them down below and we can do like a nice, fun, multi-camera Q&A set. It's just gonna be a good time. But that being said, before I get completely carried away with the day, there's a major project that I'm working on today that I want to share with you guys. This one's big. So at first I decided to use a lot of this time to kind of fix things up, add some things, do some renovations, just make some changes. For example, this entire box here is filled with bricks, well, brick veneer. I was gonna take an entire wall of the house and just maybe, I don't know where, maybe here, seems like a good spot, and just do it all out in brick. But then I got another idea. And it started with these two things right here. I sat down one day to record an episode of the Tokyo Lens podcast, and that's when it hit me. All the creators are home. All of us. So I started making some phone calls, and before I knew it, a project was born. Like so far we're at somewhere between 6 and 8 hours of podcast content, half a dozen creators or more. A small part of me hopes that it stops growing so much because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, but it is so much fun to do all the interviews, put together all the content. Obviously the podcast itself will be linked down below so you can jump in there nice and early. It's all gonna be up fairly soon. I wanna say it's gonna be a lot of fun, but honestly it's already been a lot of fun. I just need to get it edited and out there so it can be fun for you as well. The goal behind it is just to give a series of content, something long form, something that you can enjoy, something that has a next episode to look forward to. Each of the episodes right now is at least 30 to 45 minutes. The range of topics that we cover is out of this world. We cover everything from traveling Japan, learning Japanese, getting a place in Japan. We talk about Animal Crossing and other videos. Everybody basically has something different to talk about, and I I was still wearing this. This, by the way, when you're playing shamisen, this enables your arm to slide along the shamisen, for those asking. But again, leave all your questions down below, like all of them. Just go nuts. Wow, this is a mess, but I'm gonna do what I can to make all of this much more bearable and hopefully a lot more fun. And if you're interested in the idea of a shamisen live stream or just any kind of live stream, let me know. There's no excuses now. We have all the tools. We can do it. Cleanup does happen. It's a part of the process. Also, thank you guys for all the love on that ramen documentary. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll toss it up there. That was definitely a different piece of work for me. I really enjoyed doing it in that style, and now that we are working with Black Magic, I'm just looking for every opportunity I can to make similar style content, more documentaries, kind of. I like those. They're fun. Little mini movies, if you will. So, and more live streams. You know where to find them. I think there may have been a couple bloopers in this episode. Butter the bread, but I've gained a little bit of butter. Once your bread is nice and toasted, it's time to prep our egg. And I did not think this through. Turns out my fly was down. I need to take a picture of this setup just because this setup is so unreasonably ridiculous that it has taken me 20 minutes to set up for all this. This is just, it's not even remotely serious. Oh. Sit down at breakfast now. Hmm.